Jiaan, it's such a pleasure to have you here. I mean, I just feel like the president himself. Congratulations officially. Rookie of the Year 2023, 2024. So we'll get right to it. What were your main goals when you first joined the club? And how have your goals evolved since becoming a member of the club?
Great. First of all, well, thank you for having me. I think it's going to be a fun session talking about my journey as being Rookie of the Year. So, first of all, my main goal when I first joined the club was more on the impromptu speaking side of things. I remember like, I reached out to Richard asking just about Toastmasters because I felt like I'm I really need to work on more of the impromptu side of communication. So that's how I got into joining our meetings. And
Okay.
during our meetings, during table topics, even when I'm not getting called up, I get super nervous. I actually get nauseous,
I know.
right? Yeah, like my stomach. Ooh, no.
It's tight. I know the feeling.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But when I joined, that's my main focus was the impromptu speaking. I thought my prepared speaking was pretty okay, but of course, developing that. But that's not my main focus. My main focus was doing practicing my impromptu speaking. It did evolve over time or my goals rather, yeah, as I took on more roles, gone through more speeches, and one thing I noticed during my times is that I, whenever I was evaluating, I had a difficult time like getting focused and trying to catch what everybody's trying to say during their speeches. So it evolved into more on the active listening side of things.
Mm.
So what I did to practice that is as much as possible, I would try to take on evaluator roles too, so I could force myself and practice those active listening skills. So and still get to work on my impromptu speaking because even though we do have a minute of silence to
Mm-hmm.
take down our notes, it's still pretty impromptu when you do your evaluation, right? So
Right.
that's how my goals evolved from the beginning to where I'm at today.
Now, this leads us to the Rookie of the Year proper. How did it feel to be recognized as the Rookie of the Year? What does winning the Rookie of the Year award mean to you personally and professionally?
Ooh, getting the award, or I'm not really actively aiming for. I mean, by that, what I'm trying to say is I'm not the most competitive person out there, although there are times where I do get competitive, right? But receiving the award, for me, it feels fantastic because the work that was behind it served as a reminder that hey, as long as you do your best
Mm-hmm.
and people see and recognize the work that you've been putting in, you'll get recognized for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so personally and professionally, maybe not so much on the award itself, but having that award, I have a reminder of what it takes or what you need to do. You need to do your best, and that would be applicable for me just in my personal life or at work, right? So that's what it means for me to win the award.
Can you share a specific instance where you applied a skill learned in Toastmasters that helped in getting the award outside the club?
A skill that I learned in Toastmasters that helped in getting the award. I mean, we've been developing the same skills regardless of whether we're aiming for the award or not, right? So practicing your speaking, developing your confidence, listening, all of that. It's the same, regardless of you you're gonna get the award or not. That's everyone in Toastmasters is working on, or that's all the skills that we learn over there as well. So for me, the skill, just the main ones, is by being able to practice your speaking, your communication, and being comfortable presenting in front of the audience. Even at work, I was comfortable presenting in different audiences. For example, like early on at my career, or I've been tasked to also lead some of the meetings too. So, well, gets nerve wracking, right? Well, yeah, you have to set the agenda and you have to navigate the meeting. That's I've been comfortable in doing that. And also there's there's other opportunities that presented itself or that I've been given, fortunately, like giving presentations to in front of the entire Calgary.
Oh, wow.
That's one. That's very nerve-wracking. My very first HSE topic at work was in front of the entire office,
Wow.
and and I had another opportunity where I had to present a value creation topic, which is a topic of anything of your choosing,
Hmm.
and I had to present that in front of top senior executives from our Houston headquarters that visited the Calgary office.
Hmm.
I remember was presenting in that executive boardroom, and I got to present my presentation to them. They liked it. So just being comfortable and having the practice in putting the work in,
Hmm.
definitely it opened up opportunities, and I've applied whatever skill, whatever skills I've had at work. So there you go.
Okay. Did your fellow club members support you on your journey to this award? Do you have any memorable anecdotes, perhaps?
I'll There's different members I was that was helping me out during different stages during that year when I won the award. When I was first starting out, uh, some people know this member or former member, Lisa Branch. She's a fantastic evaluator.
Oh,
She's
yes.
very fantastic Toastmaster. I think the newer members unfortunately haven't had a chance to meet her, but her and Masood, they're the first two members that helped me settle
Okay.
in during my first few months. They've helped me with my icebreaker, which I was super nervous to present to. So the first bit, definitely Lisa and Masood, they have helped me. They gave me lots of tips, even just uh, making me comfortable and settled in. The next of memorable group of members was the people who helped me out during the 2023 year-end event, which I organized. There's a couple other former members, Ruby Gana and Jesse Brown,
Hmm.
along with Arobo and Mitali. So they all helped me getting organized with the event. Ruby and Arobo, they helped me so much with the agenda because I had zero clue what I was doing, being it my first event. So they worked with me getting that organized. Jessie, she was in charge of the graphics that we used for the event. So she's a star. She did fantastic on the graphics that she did. And Mitali, she helped me out with getting the food sorted out. More on that, I'll actually present a speech about that event, so stay tuned. So whatever I said in this interview is more of a teaser for my for that speech in the
Right.
future. So and towards the end, towards the end of the year, uh, Arobo and Irma, Arobo again, yes, we were organizing the area and division contest for the areas in Division A. Yeah, Division A, and ooh, that was really challenging, and I'm so glad to have them because we would just go talking about anything and everything under the sun. All of our struggles, all of our relief, our victories, they were there the entire time. And up to this day, yeah, I still keep in close touch with those two. So I'm really grateful to have them. So yeah, we've stuck through thick and thin, especially
Mhm,
during those events. So
mhm.
I'm so glad to have them. I'm really grateful for all of the members that have supported me in my journey.
And the good part of it is you always have support. You are not alone ever. There is always support in the club. That's one very fantastic side of Flow Communicators, truly. What was the most challenging aspect of your Toastmasters journey in 2023-2024 Toastmasters year?
The most challenging aspect of my journey was I there were times where I felt like I overestimated my capacity in taking on a bunch of different projects.
Mm,
So I did go through periods where I felt like I pushed myself a bit too hard, taking on so many projects in a short span of time. So I did feel a bit of fatigue during that time, and there were times where I feel a bit lethargic and just running on fumes. So the learning there was first, try your best to gauge your capacity
mhm.
and don't be afraid to decline some of them, but still keep yourself open and just mention like, hey, maybe I won't be able to take on this right now, but I will still help you out if you ever need to in the future. It's just that this timing isn't the best, right? So that's a way to keep yourself in check and make sure that you don't run your run yourself too much. Also, take breaks. I mean, for me, that part also was also difficult because during that year I was sergeant at arms,
Mm.
and that's a consistent commitment where you have to be at the meeting as much as you can, set up the room, getting everything arranged. So there's little room to take breaks because I had that commitment. But if the opportunity presents itself, definitely take breaks. So those are the challenges that I had and some learnings that hopefully would help others if they do run into those challenges.
To the last question for now, how can members make the most of their first 12 to 18 months in Toastmasters, the new members or the newer members, their first 12 to 18 months, how can they make the most of it?
I love this question because I have a ton of tips for you guys. So there's a gold mine out there. Let's start off with the most important one though, is have fun with it, right?
Mm,
So you're here in Toastmasters. I mean, course, you have this goal to improve yourself, but definitely you're not gonna improve if you don't have fun with it. You'll be it's much more easy to get stuck if you're not having fun with it. So what you do is try looking into yourself and find out what makes something fun for you, and try to find that aspect within Toastmasters. For me, I like learning something new. So that brings me to my second tip, right? So during meetings, especially during the evaluation portion, even though you're not the person being evaluated on, listen to the evaluations, take down the notes,
Mm.
because it only it might apply to the person being evaluated on, but it actually applies to everybody.
Oh,
So I
yes.
try doing that. It's so valuable for me too. And whatever any evaluation, I would try to incorporate that in my own projects, in my own speeches. Third, I encourage everyone to take on meeting roles. And here's the reason why. There's always a skill that you could learn from each role, right? You're not the learning uh, and developing your communication. It's not only during your table topics impromptu or your prepared speeches. For example, let's start with the smaller rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your timekeeper. You also learn some time management there and communicating with the Toastmaster or the table topics master. Check your time and say, hey, there's no more time for table topics. We should move on to the next portion of the meeting. Your act counter. You, al- you also develop this awareness of filler words that we always use, that we use as a crutch. Your joke master, actually, there's a skill that you could learn there. And this is where you could practice your vocal variety and gestures in a super fun, stress-free way.
Mm-hmm.
I've had members, weirdly enough, like wondering what to do with the joke master role. And that's what I've been telling them. You could practice your vocal variety, your gestures. If you try to tell a funny story, for example,
Mm.
I'll lump these roles together, the grammarian, your evaluators, and table topics master. All of those, you could learn some active listening and giving feedback.
Mm.
And for the Toastmaster, you get to learn organizational skills as well, even before the meetings, not just during meetings, because first, as a Toastmaster, you're responsible of all the roles during your meeting. Make sure they're all filled. So before the meeting, you get to practice your organizational skills uh, in there. So yes, I encourage everyone to take roles, be active in the club because you'll learn different things even when you're taking on different roles. Even though it seems small, you'll learn something. Fourth, be open and willing to help others out.
Mm-hmm.
My first few months before, I think that was a few months before became SAA, Sergeant at Arms. I started with helping out, setting up the room because help was being asked for the members. And I thought, hey, you know what? I'll just help out. And then from there, if you have the willingness to help others, um, you you would eventually get more and more opportunities. And of course, if you help others out, the more likely they will help you back, right? So, and last but not the least, you have mentors for a reason. Keep in
Mm.
touch with them because, for example, if you find yourself stuck, or if you just wanted to talk about something or anything or everything under the sun, they're there to help you out. Like you want to check if your speech flows properly. Check with your mentor, or if you're trying to navigate a particular scenario, whether in Toastmasters or in your career or in life, your mentor's there. So reach out to them. They're very valuable resource. They've pretty sure they've gone through whatever you've gone through before.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's very valuable to get their insight as well. And they would help you out for sure. Hopefully all of those tips help our newer members during their first few months or so. And there you go.
Thank you so much, Jiaan. Thank you. I personally look forward to the speech on the year-end event you talked about. You gave us a teaser. Look forward to it, and I'm sure it's going to be fun. I've had a fantastic time with you during this interview discussion session, and I'm sure this is not going to be the last time we'll be meeting virtually for an interview like this. Thank you for sharing your insights, and we will be back. Any last
Awesome.
words? Any last words? Mhm.
To all my to all the newer members of the club, like I mentioned earlier, you know, we're all here to develop ourselves, but it's really important to just have fun. And there's a community of us. That's what we have in common, right? So we're here to help each other out in our journey as Toastmasters. Like everybody's gone through the initial getting used to the new environment and getting used to everything here at Toastmasters. So everybody's gone through that. And what's what I love about our club, like you also mentioned to Ola, is that our club members, we are all willing to help each other out. So I encourage everyone to seek guidance and yeah, we have a fantastic club. I love our club.
I do too.
So by the way, short aside, we are 10 out of 10 DCT for what 11 years in a row. First club this year to get 10 out of 10 this year. Yeah. So a little bit of a flex, but that's just a testament to how fantastic our club is. There you go.
Thank you, Jiaan. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Sola. Thank